Good evening. Welcome to the DS Domination Hangout this evening. We've got a very special guest. I think a lot of you will recognise this guy. He's been around on the leaderboards like consistently over a long period of time, and we'll get into the facts of that in a little while. There's a whole community of people out here with DS Domination that are really striving to, really put into practice what the training is all about. You can take this to whatever level you want. So just for people that are new to DS Domination, let's just give a very, very quick overview. DS Domination is a company that gives you the training and tools to enable you to list items on eBay and Amazon and make money doing that. There's little tips and tricks and stuff like that that you might trip up without having the training that we've got, and that's why it's really, really valuable what we've got. So let me give you our special guest over here. He's in the United States. Whereabouts are you? Sean Agnew. Whereabouts are you?
Yeah, I'm actually in Canada. In Toronto, Canada.
There you go. Slipped up first thing. Anyway, that just shows that it's international. How about that? You can even do it in Canada.
Yep.
And tell us a bit about your background before you start with DS Domination. Have you been in any other things before that?
Yeah, so I've been doing network marketing for a few years, trying to make money online for a few years. Anyways, I remember the very first thing I did, a few years back, was trying to make money on surveys. What you can get paid like $2-3 to fill out surveys, and was always trying to find something that could just sort of supplement my income, and that's what led me towards network marketing. As making money online usually leads to a network marketing type company, and I never really had any success, with other companies. I signed up a few people, and so on, and then DS Domination came across my desk with the last company I was with. One of the my sponsor, anyways, sent me this particular video, and I checked it out. I liked it. Didn't really like my sponsor, so I shopped around for a sponsor. Ended up with a pretty good sponsor in the program, and the rest is history. This thing has really took off for me.
Yeah. So there's a lot out there, isn't there? There's a lot of choices of things to do in network marketing. What led you to DS Domination, and what potential did you see from it from the get-go, really?
Right. So, one of the things that I really struggled with, even as short as 10, 11 months ago, is I just wasn't really comfortable. I don't want to use the word good at, but I wasn't comfortable with recruiting. And I think with other companies, part of it was I didn't really understand what I was selling to people, but also I didn't really believe in the product. So the problem was, if you didn't recruit, you wouldn't make a dime. Okay, so I would be in these companies, I'd buy these products, I'd go all in, I'd spend thousands, and I wouldn't recruit a soul, so I wouldn't make a dollar. So when DSD came across my desk, I was ready to just stop doing the network marketing thing altogether. I was working a full-time job offline in a traditional workplace, and this thing came across my desk. I checked it out, and I saw, this looks pretty cool. It's $20. Selling stuff on eBay. I don't have to own any inventory. Might as well check it out. And I wasn't even interested in the recruiting side at all. So what really appealed to me was, they said that something like 70-80% of people were, selling and making a profit, and you could make money without having to recruit anybody, without having to talk to people or generate leads or any of that kind of stuff. And I jumped in, and I was really focused on the eBay side of things, and fast forward down the road, who would have known that I would turn into a pretty decent recruiter in the end? But what was really appealing to me was the fact that you could actually make money on the product side. We all know the stats out there. 98% of people make no money when they get in network marketing companies. Well, here was a company here where it actually flipped the numbers on its head, and if you didn't recruit, it didn't matter, because you had the ability to sell on eBay through some of our other courses, sell on Amazon, and make some money that way. So that was what really appealed to me.
Yeah. Let me just do a quick check. There's people on, and I can see you on there. You can just leave us a quick comment. tell people that you're excited about, or tell us if you're excited about having Sean Agnew on here. Tell us any questions that you've got. So you've got the video in this app. Down below the bit of text there, there's a comment section. If you just leave a comment, click the post button, I'll be going back and forth to try and feed Sean with your as good as I can do. So you were saying there about you know, going all in with companies, and guess what? I've gone all in with companies as well, and it kind of, I know exactly your mindset with that sort of stuff, because believing in the product has just totally changed my perspective of this sort of industry. Because when somebody comes up with another deal and they're trying to push it on you, and you just look at it now and you're thinking, I don't believe in that. You know, I couldn't take that wholeheartedly, give it to somebody else and say, this is really going to make you money. But with DS Domination, I can wholeheartedly say that. You know, it's such a simple system that even if you don't want to do the team building side of things, you can make money doing it. If you want to do the team building side of things, you've got a simple system to pass on to your downline for this training. You know, it's all there for you, so you don't have to come up with massive, you know, $1,000 or multiple $1,000 infrastructure for your team. It's all in the training. It all so it's hugely different, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's it, right? I think part of the problem of why I didn't have any success in the last companies was like you said, it's just I'm not sure I actually believed that people could make money with what I was selling, you know, and I didn't understand what I was really selling to people. So once I got in with DS Domination and I had some sales on eBay and I had some decent success with eBay, I knew right away, like, hey, this thing works. And all the people that I saw fail in all the other companies, like, this needs to be shown to them, because here's an opportunity here where, you know, if you don't know how to recruit, or, you know, maybe you want to get into recruiting but you're not really sure about the products that you're selling, here's an opportunity for you to share something with somebody where they can actually go out and make money. And, you know, one of the most rewarding things to me throughout this whole journey and experience has been the amount of people who've joined my team and have made money, and have made money without recruiting. Like, I have people now who are outselling me on Amazon, who are outselling me on eBay, and they've quit their jobs, or some of them are making just an extra few $1,000s a month. Some of them were on social assistance, now they're not. And they're not recruiting, they're just using eBay, they're using Amazon to make money using the courses that we teach you in DS Domination. So that is such a rewarding aspect of this program, and it's one of the reasons why, like you said, other people inbox me now. There's a couple programs, I don't want to mention names, but there's a couple really hot programs nowadays out there, and every other day I'm getting one, and I just laugh at it, because first of all, I'm not going anywhere, but second of all, you know, guys, you're not going to make money with that stuff. It's new shiny object coming down the pipeline. There's nothing to sell. It's just another one of those junk MLM type companies. If you really want to make money, you know, come over here, learn a skill set. And what's cool is, if somehow, God forbid, knock on wood, DSD ever went away, I still know how to sell on eBay and Amazon. eBay and Amazon aren't going anywhere. So that's what's really appealing and cool about this company.
Yeah, exactly. It's backed by two massive companies like eBay and Amazon. You can't get any more sort of stable than that. I don't know the numbers, but eBay sales and stuff, every day there's just billions of turnover. I don't know what it is, but it's a lot of money going through that company, and yeah, it's drastically different. It's backed by a really good company. So I've got another thing here, that you start focusing on the eBay side of things straight off the bat without doing the recruiting side of it. Would you recommend that to people that are new to this type of making money online?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, the thing is that, like, let's be honest, internet marketing's hard. It just is. And, you know, you can see, you know, when you first get started, you see these sales videos and guys in Costa Rica and driving around with their fancy cars, and you're like, man, you know, you look at the, with all due respect, you look at some of these guys and you're like, well, if this guy can do it over here, like, I can clearly, I can clearly sign up people like this guy's doing it. But the reality is it's difficult. Okay, it's not something that the average person can just come in off the street. All of a sudden, you sign up 200 people. You know, it's a skill set. It's a learned skill set. When you learn it and you get decent at it, then it can become really easy, and you can apply it, and you know you can really see how it works as a formula. But for me, when I got in DSD, even though I was in network marketing for a couple of years, I wasn't succeeding. I wasn't succeeding because I didn't know what I was doing. Okay, so when I got in DSD and I started making money with eBay and Amazon, I was able to take some of the proceeds that I made. I invested it back in the business. You know, I bought some courses on internet marketing. I started buying some paid traffic. Learning how to write a blog, learning how to do YouTube, things like that. And I got better and better at the internet marketing side. And I kept selling on eBay and Amazon. I kept making more money there. I kept taking some money, investing in the internet marketing side, and eventually that side of the business grew into a rather lucrative opportunity for me. But I would recommend anybody coming off the street, look, it's $20, okay? Forget about recruiting people if you don't know how to do it. You don't need to. Just use the training that's in there, leverage the training that's in there, make some money. Worry about making money on the recruiting side later down the road if you can. And what's cool about that too is as you start to build your successes on eBay and Amazon, you start to build your story that you can start to share with people down the road as well. So, if you're good at internet marketing and you have a lot of friends and whatnot, that's really cool. Come in, share the opportunity, but it's not something you have to really focus on off the bat. You can actually just spend most of your time on the eBay side, and you'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing there you said about the people on social, and now they've got income stories. They're making money. People on limited incomes and really struggling to get going in any business. Is it really possible, or what's the time scale that they should expect to be trying to make some income with it? What are the constraints on their income level?
Right. Well, one thing I want to make clear to people is that when you sign up for $20, $10,000 is not going to print out of your computer. Okay, I think some people have that mindset that you get in the business and you're guaranteed cash. That's not how it works, and that's not how any business works. Okay, this is a business. It takes time to grow a business. Restaurants that you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to get off the ground, a lot of those business owners don't turn profit for 3, 4, 5 years. So put that into perspective to what you're given right here, a $20 startup business opportunity. And I would say you can make money in your first month, but again, you're not going to turn that $20 into $10,000 in a couple weeks. Money is in the listing, okay? So, as you come in and you take action daily and you put items up on eBay and you list items up on eBay, go to the weekly webinars, follow all the training, take notes, keep listing every day. You can make money faster if you do it like that. Now, if you come in and you don't take action, it takes you 5 weeks to get through the videos, you never go to the webinars, with all due respect, you're going to be rewarded for the time that you put into your business. If you're going to put an hour a month, you'll get paid like you put an hour a month in. If you're going to put in an hour a day, you'll get paid like you're putting an hour in a day, okay? But, when in my experience, the people who have the most success are the ones that come in, they're passionate about it, they put in an hour, 2 hours a day if they can, they really, really dive into the business, and if you do it like that, you can make money fast. I've had people join me, get a sale their very first day. Okay, it took me about 2.5 weeks to get my first sale, and I was following the business and I was doing the training, but that's just what it took. If you look at my numbers now, I mean, thank God I didn't quit because it took a little longer for me. But you can really, really make some decent money fast. That lady who I'm referring to, who was on social assistance, within 6 months she had upgraded to all the packages, and she's making 4 figures a month now, no longer on social assistance. And I can promise you, there's no special sauce, there's no special secret. She didn't have some insider software that nobody else gets. All she did was show up every day to work, put in an hour or two, and honestly, she's now got a team of like 30 people.
Have we lost you? Might have lost him. So let's take this opportunity. Get some more comments in the box. I've seen John's, and I've seen who else have I seen? Joy. I've seen your comments. So it's all refreshing. There we go. Hope that Sean will be sharing some golden nuggets, both for listing and sponsoring from Joy Spare. And we got David on here as well. Are you back, Sean?
I am. Unfortunately, I told you before the interview, the internet's been spotty out here, so sorry about that.
That's cool. Yeah, you were saying about the woman. She's upgraded to all the packages, and she's got a team of what, 30 people now.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, there's no special sauce there, right? The difference for her was she showed up to work every day. You know, she put in an hour, 2 hours a day, followed the training, went to the webinars, very active in the group, passionate about the business, and that's all you got to do. There's no special secret. If you have an hour a day to put into this business, you'll make money. I have yet to meet a person who puts in an hour a day and fails at this business. A year later, I've been in this business a year. Everybody who has at least 1 hour, that's it. That's all we're asking you to do. 1 hour every day to follow the training, get 5 items on eBay, you will make money. It's a guarantee. Yeah,
that's brilliant. So I just heard some water trickling somewhere. Right. What about your? What have you been able to do with DS Domination? Then tell us the nitty gritty. You know, the headline. What have you done with DS Domination?
Right. So I started in DS Domination last November. It was late November, so it's almost been a year now. And I came in with this thing, started at $20, and like I said, I didn't have a first sale for 2.5 weeks. And my whole thing with this is I did not want to recruit. I just wanted to make money on eBay and you know, see what happened. That's how I was. I'm going to put $20 out, throw it out there, see what happens. Once I got my first couple of sales, I recognized right away this was going to be a pretty cool opportunity. In January, 3 months into the program, I had a $7,000 sales month on eBay. I got all the packages. I started selling on Amazon in February. By April, I had a $25,000 sale month on Amazon. I actually had the opportunity to train a team of 1,000 people on Amazon in May. And what was really cool was as the event rolled around in Las Vegas that happened, I got the opportunity to speak on stage at the live event. At that point in time, I had signed up over 200 people. I had people coming up to me at the event, which was really cool. You know, I watched your Monopoly training and I made $7,000. I watched your Monopoly training and I had a $1,000 day, and it was such a overwhelming experience to go from somebody who was a complete failure at network marketing to somebody who had made 5 figures a month on Amazon, who became an eBay power seller, who had signed up over 200 people. And since May, I've been in the top 10 leaderboards on the affiliate side every single month, which is absolutely phenomenal. I signed up over 500 people into the business. So that's been fantastic for me. I've grossed over 6 figures in the past 10 months. I recently just left my 9-to-5 offline job to focus on this entirely full-time. So it's been a life-changing journey for me, and if you asked me last year at this time if this could have ever occurred because I took a $20 decision, I would have laughed in your face. But best $20 I ever spent, and here we are 1 year later, and the rest is history. It's been a wonderful experience.
So I mean, the potential there is just incredible, isn't it? With what you've done personally is just an incredible story. And to come from such a you know, a typical network, but you've actually achieved all these goals. Now you've gone so far, and the only way is up, isn't it? It's only going to get bigger because you're going to get more inventory, more items that are working for you, more cheaper sources, and you know, you're going to refine the process. Is that right?
Yeah, you know, the thing is you know, I've been around network marketing long enough to understand how it works. And look, we're only a year old. Okay, it started last September, last August 31st, actually. So we're like 14 months old as a company. we still have a long way to go. You know, our big top product there just launched in May, end of May. So we've only been able to do fulfillment by Amazon stuff for 4 or 5 months. So we haven't even scratched the surface there. Roger on his webinar last night, for those who are at the elite level on this Hangout, you know, he talked about another product that's coming down the road that is going to be very lucrative as well. So this company has just scratched the surface. We haven't even started to you know, take off. Okay, I think there's 70,000 members they've crossed. You know, if you look at some of these other network marketing companies, they're around for 4, 5, 6 years, 500,000 members. We're still at 70,000. We're in our infancy right now. Now's a great time to jump into this company because we have an established product. We have tons of success stories. The concept is proven. Okay, but it's still a young company. It's still easy to jump in. There's millions of items that are waiting for you to list on eBay. There's tens of thousands of people that are waiting to be signed up by you if you're interested in the network marketing side. There's, you know, Amazon is an unlimited resource right now because there's such a small amount of third-party sellers like you and I that you know, it's going to be 10, 20 years before that becomes saturated. So it is a fantastically exciting time to get into this company right now. And you know, if you're watching this and you're not in the company, you know, you just have to look at my story. I've never sold on eBay before, never sold on Amazon before, never had any network marketing experience. I can tell you, I hope you had my experience. Like I said, when I used to watch network marketing, I'd be like, this guy made 6 figures, I can make 6 figures. Well, I hope you're watching and looking at me saying, this guy made 6 figures, I can make 6 figures, because that's how it is. I'm just some normal Canadian kid here, you know, who took action every day, worked hard, and had some great success, okay? So, you know, this is the company you want to be at. This is where it's at, and like I said, you don't have to recruit, too. You can just use the eBay, Amazon side and absolutely crush the business.
Yeah. So, and moving forward with the company, I mean, there's so much going on with it, with the options platform, with the thing that Roger was talking about last night. What was that he was saying? $1 billion or $1 million idea or something?
Yeah. He's. I actually had the opportunity to speak to Roger on the phone a few weeks back for a separate thing, and he had mentioned this briefly to me, but I'm not entirely sure what it's about. But you know, he's dying to get this thing out there, and obviously you touched on the options piece. I completely forgot about that. That's going to be massive as well. So leadership is there. The products work. They're the most humble, normal, easy, down-to-earth people you'll ever meet. Everybody's so helpful, wanting everybody to win, and I've never seen so many people make money online. You know, not everybody's making 6 figures, but for some people, even just like $600-700 extra a month, you know, in their spare time, it goes a long way. And you have that ability here without having to, you know, have home parties or sell shakes out of your garage or whatever other people are out there doing. And you can do it passively. You know, you got 5 hours a week to put into this. Put 5 hours a week. You'll get paid. Okay, so that's what's so amazing about this company.
Yeah, like you said about, you know, it's not the massive figures that people are after. They're after paying for rent, paying for mortgage, you know, replacing all these with an online income. Then they've got that rent or mortgage or food expenses or all these sort of things as an extra then. So they've got they've got more breathing space, haven't they? So yeah. It's not huge income they're after.
No, exactly. And, you know, people the other day were asking for some special formula, and I gave it to them. Like, look, here's the special thing. Imagine 5 months down the road, you're in this company at the $20 level. You invest $100, and at that time now, you have 500 products up on eBay. On average, about 20% of your products will sell. So you will sell 100 items a month. Now imagine if you had $30 profits baked into each item. 100 times 30 is $3,000. So for a $100 investment, you could turn that into $3,000. And all you have to do is put some items up on eBay, follow the training that we teach you, mark the prices up so you're profiting, and what would an extra $3,000 a month do for you? I mean, that's your mortgage right there. That's a car payment. That maybe helps you pay off some credit card debt, okay? This, you know, I think you hit the nail on the head there, and I even had this when I started, is your mentality should not be, I'm going to join in at $20, I'm going to quit my job in 30 days. Your mentality should be, I'm going to start in at $20, I want to make $2,000 a month within the next 90 to 120 days. Be realistic. When you hit that goal, maybe your next goal is $4,000 in the next 3 months after that, and so on. In the meantime, you're reinvesting some of your profits, upgrading to the next levels, because that's where the profits get bigger. And if you keep those short-term goals in mind, as you start to grow and grow and grow, all of a sudden, 12 months down the road, you could have $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 months. Then you can start to think about, hey, maybe I don't need to be working at this telephone company over here. Maybe I can give them a hike. And that's what happened to me. Like, don't think about making $10,000 a month. Think about making your first $100, then your first $1,000, and growing your business slowly from there. And before you know it, if you think about where you're going to be 6 months, 12 months, 18 months down the road, hey, if I got to put in some work to get to that 18-month mark where I can leave my job, I'm going to put in that work, and if it's going to cost me $20 to get started, I mean, it's a no-brainer, really. So, you have an opportunity here to start really small, putting a little bit of extra cash in your pocket to help with your mortgage and your car payment, maybe some of your bills, and that's what DS Domination is designed for. It's designed to make you that passive income to help out with your bills, and if you, keep growing and growing, you can eventually turn this into something that will allow you to quit your job, spend more time with your family, and take this thing full time.
And it's all about having them little goals, isn't it? Them little achievements, and that really structures your road to success.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, I had visions of turning this into a six-figure business, but at the same time, I can't do that in 30 days. Nobody, not even Reginald Stinson, made 6 figures in his first 30 days, and he's made $500,000 in the last 14 months. Okay, he did not start there. I'm sure he knew right away he wasn't going to be there that fast. But the point is having your eye on the prize. You need to have short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. My short-term goal was I want to get that first $1,000 a month. It took me 90 days. Okay, it took me 90 days to get to that first $1,000. It took me 6 months to get my first $10,000 a month. I was able to grow that rapidly, and I consistently have $10,000 to $15,000 months now. Not everybody's going to replicate that. You throw an income disclaimer out there that not everybody's going to replicate that, because I don't know what kind of effort you're going to put in, how many listings you got up, etc. But if you keep your eye on the prize, if you set short-term goals, if you take action every day, that's super important too. Even on your days off, I'll take a day off, but I still get up a half hour in the morning and send out an email to my list. I still ship out a couple items, and I take the rest of the day off. You have to be committed and willing to put in the work. And if you set those short-term goals and you work hard to meet those goals and constantly stretch yourself, the sky's the limit with what you can do in this business.
Yeah. So you just mentioned shipping stuff out. People might be freaking out that they're going to put $10,000 worth of items in their garage. Do you want to just clarify on that bit?
Yeah, no, I mean, especially when you're selling on eBay, you're not using your own funds, so to speak, right? You get the customer's money, you buy the items, and you ship it to your customer. So it's not like I'm out there spending $10,000 in products and shipping it to my garage and whatnot. The whole concept is leveraging the power of Amazon to drop ship onto eBay. And of course, at our higher levels, we teach you how to use other sources as well. But you're not actually holding on to the product and putting 10,000 of your own dollars on the line and whatnot. You're only shipping when the item sells. So, yeah.
I don't like to get people worried.
Yeah, no. The concept is putting a listing up. When you put a listing up, you're not buying anything. You only go get that item when it sells, and you're using customer money to get that item. So no panic. Don't panic.
Exactly. So we've got people on here. I want to see some more comments on the comment section down below. I saw one by John Bone, and he said my hair's getting long, so I need to have a haircut. So what we got here? So what advice then would you give? I had a question yesterday about this. Somebody who's been active in the business and they're really keen on their listings and stuff, but the business isn't flowing as nice as it should be. It's not giving them sales every day, and like you said, it took you 2.5 weeks to get your first sale. What would you say to really jig up their account? Maybe some golden nuggets for the experts out there that are actually already takers.
Sure. Well, the first thing I would say is, and obviously I don't know your account, but you make sure your listings are always maxed out. If you have 500 listings, make sure you get those listings up. If you're already maxed out, make sure you call eBay to get more listings. Sometimes eBay will tell you no. Okay, that's great. Just call them back the next day. eBay's a Fortune 500 company. They have tens of thousands of employees. If one guy tells you no, the next day the next guy might tell you yes. But you gotta remember, think about this as your store, your e-commerce store, and you want to keep your shelves stocked. So if you have 100 items maxed out and you can't list anymore, well, you're only going to be able to maybe sell 15, 20 items a month, right? So the key is in the listing, and you got to make sure you're persistent with eBay and making sure that you have as many items as possible. Like 6 months after I first signed up my eBay account, I can list 1,000 items for over $100,000. I can't even keep up with that. So you get to the point where you will eventually have tons and tons of items you can list up. The second thing I would say is eBay likes fresh content. Okay, much like Google. When I don't want to get into the whole SEO thing, but Google likes blogs because blogs are always pumping out fresh content. They put new posts, whatever, and they give you better rankings. Assuming you have some good on-page optimization, they give you better rankings based on that fresh content. eBay's the same way. So what you can do, and I do this at least 2 to 3 times a week, is hop on your listing. If it's not getting the views that you like, not getting the watches that you like, you can change your price a little bit, even by a few pennies. You can tweak your title and description a little bit, maybe change a couple words around, sometimes maybe even change the order of the picture, resubmit it, and now you have fresh content. Sometimes that'll actually help you boost up higher in the eBay rankings and increase your views. Another thing you can do that I like to do is you can split test if you have the room. This is a little bit more of an advanced technique, but let's say I'm holding this this camera. You're not supposed to sell electronics, so this is a bad idea. But let's say I'm selling this camera, but don't sell cameras because they're electronics, and I want to list this thing up. Well, if I have a bunch of room, what I can do is I can see what other camera sellers are selling and what their titles look like, and I can mimic my listing after theirs. But what I can do is I can create one listing for this camera and another listing for this camera, and I can change the titles around. Okay, I can maybe this listing is black power shot camera, and this listing is camera black power shot. I don't know, it's a little different, and I can submit them both. And then after about a week, I will see which one gets the most views, and I will delete the other listing, and I will leave the good listing up. And it's sort of like what you would do in marketing and landing pages. You can do that in eBay, especially if you have more dollar amounts and more listing amounts and whatnot. You can actually do that. And I found that sometimes if I'm listing items, that'll actually help me understand what titles to use, what keywords to use. So those are some tips to get going. Remember to not overthink it as well. Some people are always, what do I list? What am I supposed to list? Go type in a random word, see what other people are selling, look at what other sellers are selling in the last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and get an idea of what's selling now. You can go to popularebay.com, watchcount.com, give you a good idea of what sort of categories are selling right now. I also sometimes will hop on my local stores, look at the flyers, see what they're promoting. For example, if Walmart is promoting computer desks right now, I might think to myself, well, if Walmart's promoting computer desks and they have years and years of data, it might be a good item to list up on eBay since a big Fortune 500 company is promoting this item. They're promoting it for a reason. Maybe I should list similar items. So hopefully that was helpful to the audience, but those are some of the things I would do to help boost my sales, get some more views and stuff.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I've been writing down, so I've got my notepad. I'm taking notes here. It's all good. So let us know if you appreciate them comments, and leave some more comments down below. And So another thing is another team member was asking about they're in the golf niche or niche, and will it help them? Will DS Domination training help them open up a golf shop and get items and optimize things, and will it help them do that sort of a business?
Yeah, you can sell anything on eBay. Like I was selling doll houses. I was selling pet vacuum attachments, So the one thing that DS Domination training will give you is the ability to title your items properly so that eBay will like your item and it'll give you more views, right? eBay has its own search engine optimization, much like Google, so the better your title, the better your description, the better your images, the higher you will rank, the more sales you're going to get. Definitely DS Domination would help with that training, and like I said, you can sell anything. Roger has a few things that we don't that he recommends you don't sell, like electronics is one of them, and there's certain brands of certain items like Hinkle knives or something like that you can't sell. But in general, you can sell just about anything in the world on eBay. Anything sells. And definitely we could help you get that golf store up and running, and probably get some sales right away, especially if you already have items ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. And you can take it to the top level, the Genesis level, where you've got product creation and sourcing things from China and then putting your own private limit and then sending them off into Amazon.
Yeah.
And have you done that level of? You have. Okay. Tell us a bit more about that sort of level then.
Yeah. So using the example of the golf guy who's into the golf niche, I don't know if he's knows how to get it for cheap or he has his own golf products, but you could list them on eBay, and let's assume he has his own product line or something, and it's in his garage, and you could do it that method and ship it out to your customer and whatnot. But what's really cool about Genesis is that you can leverage the power of Amazon to do all the work for you. Look, I had a $25,000 sale month on Amazon in April before Genesis ever launched. So drop shipping is great. Okay, I had a patio set. I'll just throw the item out there. I had a patio set I was sourcing from one of the elite suppliers. I sold it 17 times in April, and I made $300 a pop. So drop shipping works. It's great. But I had to do the shipping. I had to create the listing. Returns happen, once or twice out of every 100 orders. I had to deal with that. Sometimes your customer once, twice out of every couple hundred orders, you might get a bad review. You got to call it. There's a customer service aspect to it. There's a
The internet's bad, isn't it?
ball game. Okay, you can source a golf set, put your brand on it, send 1,000 of them into Amazon, and you're done. Okay, Amazon will ship your item. Amazon will deal with any customer service. If there's a return or something, they'll deal with it, and you're done. You don't have to worry about anything. You wake up in the morning, look at your Amazon account, and see, you sold 10 golf sets today and made $100. That's the real cool power of Amazon. One of the cool things too about using FBA over drop shipping is you get all the Amazon perks. So, for example, Prime, which gives you 2-day shipping. A lot of people use that, and if you use Amazon FBA, you're part of the Prime program. So when customers go to buy your item, they will be eligible to use the 2-day shipping method. If you're drop shipping, that won't occur. When it comes to what's called the buy box, so if you're selling an item on Amazon that 5 other sellers are selling, if you're fulfillment by Amazon, you're built into the Amazon algorithm to get priority over the other sellers. So when somebody clicks on the buy button, they will most likely be buying from you instead of the other sellers. So the potential is just endless. There's one lady in our team, her name is Becky, and she has one bottle, okay, one bottle. She won't tell you what it is, of course, but it's one bottle of something, and she sells that thing $50,000 to $60,000 worth a month. Okay, I don't know what her profits are on that, but you can do the math on $50,000 in sales. That is the power of Amazon FBA.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know somebody who's done like only less than 10 items on Amazon, and they're just making a killing from it. It's just
Yep.
incredible. That's the other end of it. You know, you've got a huge amount of sales, huge amount of little profit sales on eBay, or you go to the high end of it and you're making a small amount of items but a huge profit on them, and you're just turning them over and over and over. I've got a friend who put in some items into FBA, and I think within a day or 2 days or something like that, he sold out, and he had, I don't know, 200 items as a test, and it had just gone. It's just unbelievable, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you have to see it to believe it. Like, we sent in a domino set because it's just a test item. I'm not making much money off it, but we were testing this thing out. I wanted to test out a ranking strategy on Amazon. I just, wanted to throw a couple feelers out. And we used the training to find a supplier based in the U.S. that could, package it up, brand it, put the sticker on, ship to Amazon for us, and it was 65 cents a unit. And we put this thing up selling at $10.99, just as a test. Within about 3 weeks, we were sold out. It was unbelievable. Like, we made about $1,800 off this little. It's downstairs, but it's really this crummy domino set. Like, it's nothing special. And like, who's buying dominoes? I couldn't even believe it. So that little domino set in 3 weeks paid for the course and profit, and it was just a test item. So, you can sell anything on it. It's unbelievable how fast Amazon is. It really is like a machine. You ship the item in, and the sales just go crazy. It's unbelievable.
So worth investing them profits back into the business to get from Pro up to Genesis.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Genesis is the end goal, and the owners, I mean, Hitesh did a video on this a while back, and it was a little bit of a rant, but, I mean, they're not shy about it. Like, the way that the course is structured is, look, if you can come in all in and get to Genesis and get off the ground running, and you got, that cash flow to do it, like, trust me, just go right now, stop watching my video, go do it. You'll make a lot of money. If you can't, which I couldn't when I started at $20, but I reinvested, and it took me about 4 months to get to the Monopoly level. And then when they launched Genesis, I was in a position to purchase it at the live event. But you can work your way up in stages, investing your profits at each level to get the next level, and so on and so forth. And who cares if it takes you a few months to get up there? Because once you do get there, the profits are much bigger at the biggest level. It's just the way it's designed, and it makes sense. If you have the ability to make 4 figures, 5 figures a month, you're gonna have to invest in that training. That's just the way it works, and I think it's a fair trade-off, to be honest with you. So that's the end game, guys. The start game is $20. Get your feet wet, make a few $100, maybe make $1,000, but keep growing and reinvesting in your business. Don't get comfortable at a $600 a month profit. Invest in yourself, invest in the business. Your end game is Genesis, and that Genesis plan is your retirement package down the road. That is the business model, and if you take that model serious and you follow it and you think long term with short term goals in mind, the sky's the limit with what you can do here.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a question here from James Cunningham. What is your average spend on eBay listing fees?
Well, it depends on the month, but I would say I try to put up about 100 items, new fresh items every month. So I think I usually, with my account anyways, I'll always get these eBay offers, and that's one thing I should throw out there. Not everybody gets these, but over time, as you get more established, eBay will send you an email saying, hey, the next 10 days you get to list for free. Well, you get those emails, you better be out there listing for free. But it's 30 cents usually. So, if I'm putting up 100 listings at 30 cents, $30. So I would say that the maximum I would spend on listing fees would be about $30, but often what I do is I just wait till eBay sends me those offers and then list like crazy. So lately, the last couple months, I haven't spent more than like $10 on listing fees.
So there's another golden nugget for everybody else there. Take advantage. There are them offers for everybody at some point, aren't there? But
Yeah.
as you get more established with it being a
Yeah,
power
I've
seller
noticed
from eBay,
that,
don't you?
I noticed when I was fresh on eBay that I wouldn't get the offers. I'd see people posting free listing offers. I'd be like, what the heck? How come I didn't get these? But 3, 4, 5 months down the road, every single month, there's yet to be a month since about month 4 in the business where eBay hasn't sent me some offer. So I just wait for it. And then it'll be like, hey, you can list 1,000 items for the next 5 days. Okay, well, I know what I'm doing for the next 5 days. I'm going to be listing like crazy because it's free. So don't worry about the listing fees too. Again, it's 30 cents a listing. If you build the profit in, so you're making $14, so you make $13.70. Oh well,
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, so Joy was after any tips for sponsoring. She's into the sponsoring bit.
Yeah. Okay. What I would say is, try not to do too much. Okay. When I first got started, I wanted to build a blog, and I wanted to make videos, and I wanted to learn all about Facebook, and I wanted to do pay-per-click ads and solo ads. And, I was all over the place. I was spending money buying this course and that course, and all. The best thing that ever happened to me was this. I was so focused on building a blog and doing solo ads, and my blog got kicked off Google. They had a new penguin or panda or some animal update, and I was off Google for a month. And I wanted to share my story with DSD, but I couldn't blog about it anymore. So I started making videos, and I started making a video every day. And I started making 2 videos a day. And before you knew it, after about 3 months, I had 100 videos. My YouTube channel, since November last year to this year, has had 92,000 views. I get 200 views a day to my YouTube videos on DS Domination, and I haven't made a video since July. So my point to that is, pick one thing, doesn't matter what it is, and just master it. Master it. If you want to be the Twitter queen, go all over Twitter and tweet the heck out of DSD. You want to be the blog person, the YouTube person, the paid ads person, whatever it is, focus in all your energy on that one thing. Do it well. Do it better than anybody else can do it. That's what's going to give you the most success. And that's the best advice I can give. To that point, though, is share your story. Okay, it doesn't matter if your story's small. It doesn't matter if you've only made $50 on DS Domination. It doesn't matter what it is. Stories sell, and people buy stories. Okay, stories sell the business. When people join DSD, they want to join you. So whatever your story is, it doesn't have to be fancy. My story is, I was a failed network marketer. Honestly, I was in overdraft when I started DSD. I joined for 20 bucks. I worked my butt off. I quit my job. I'm a 6-figure earner. That's a great story. People like that. But when I first started, it was, I sucked at network marketing. I found DSD. Look, I made a few sales. That's all it was. Like, I had like 3 sales. Okay, so what? And I just kept building my story as my story unfolded. I got to Monopoly. I sold it. I had a $25,000 sale month. You can imagine how great that month was for me at recruiting. So use the business to build your story, and your story is going to grow as your business grows. And just constantly keep telling people your story, but pick a platform to tell it. Blogging, YouTube, Facebook, whatever that platform is, use that platform to tell your story about the business and why you are so passionate about showing this business to others. Once you tell your story and you focus in on one thing, that's when your income is going to explode on the recruiting side.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do spread themselves too thin, and there's a social media platform coming out every week, isn't there, with what you can do with this, that, and the other, and then people, oh, let's do that one as well as that one, and then that one, and doing a story, but then trying to syndicate it to everything. It's really, really hard work to keep tabs on things, and then once you lose an edge on one of them, you then, oh God, I've got to do this now and keep up with it. So it's a constant battle back and forth, and yeah, I totally agree. Try and stick to one, get good at one, and there's so much to learn from that one platform anyway. If you wanted to do YouTube, there's all this ranking stuff that you can go into to get up even higher in the search engine. We could go on, but I totally agree. It's a big old place, the internet, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know, people ask me that all the time. What is your secret? What are you doing? And you know, my business partner Jesse Singh, who signed up like probably 50,000 people while we had this interview, you know, people ask him the same thing, and our answers are the same. I do YouTube, and his answer is I blog. That's it. There's no magic formula. And if you ask all the people, you ask Reginald Stinson what he does to sign people up, he's going to tell you one or two things. Okay. Everybody who's a top recruiter in this company laser focuses in on one or two things, a small amount of activities, and they just become experts at it. And around those activities, they tell their story. You do that, and you do that consistently for a long period of time, you will get good results.
Yeah. So Kevin Wilkes said, awesome advice on recruiting. He likes that. John says, do you have a shop? I'm guessing you do.
I do not have an eBay. If he means like the monthly eBay store where you pay like $20 a month, I do not. Oh. I find, and Roger says this too, is that the eBay stores take your listing and they make them like HTML coded. It actually hurts your eBay rankings if you do it like that. So I know if you get an eBay store, it's like $20 a month, and I think you get unlimited listings, which is great because now you have a consistent listing fee. But it hurts your eBay rankings. So you can actually outrank eBay stores just using your personal store. So I recommend against getting a store.
So let's just clarify on that then. A personal store instead of an eBay store.
Yeah, because you can get an eBay store that's like $20 a month or something, or you can just have your free personal account. I recommend against getting any sort of eBay store. It's not worth the $20, and it's actually will hurt your eBay rankings.
Because that's a real big subject. With, I mean, how many times have I seen that question come up? Have you got a store? And everybody's got the different point of view on it. And one of them is because you get free listings up to, is it? I don't know. It's $20 or whatever, but for so many listings. And that is the pull for some people. They say, well, you know, you're going to get it because it's really cheap. But if it's going to hurt your rankings, you're not going to get as much sales. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, when eBay, so the way it works, without getting technical, is, and this is with any SEO company, is they have what's called robots that crawl your listing, okay? So if your listing is all in HTML code, which is what an eBay store does, the robots will not crawl it. Okay, they're gonna see the word camera, and they're gonna see HTML code instead of the word camera. In my personal store, if I'm listing a camera, they're gonna see the word camera, and they're gonna say, oh, he's selling a camera. Let's rank him for this word. So I've seen no evidence in my year in this program, and I've heard no evidence from anyone that a store is worth paying the money. Yeah, okay, you get unlimited listings, but you know. At what cost, right? You know, if nobody's going to be able, if people are going to see my listing before your listing, I'm going to get more sales than you. So, you know, that's the trade-off. That's my opinion on it. If you want to get a store, I know some people on my team that have stores. I've never had a store. I've had no issues. I find that when I do my eBay stuff now, following the training, I can rank items pretty quickly. I can rank items that better than stores that have been on there for months. So that's my personal opinion on it.
So what about the branding effect of having a store? Because I think some people's mindset is that they want to put all their stuff in a place and it's got this fancy banner around it, and that's your shop online. Obviously, if you're not getting any traffic there, it's not going to be as lucrative.
Yeah.
But is there any advantage to anybody to get a store then?
I personally don't think so. I mean, I can just speak for me. I'm a top-rated power seller on eBay. I've never had a store. I don't know. Maybe if I had a store, I would have more sales, but I just don't see it, because if you look at the technicality of it, it hurts your eBay SEO. And even if you have fancy colors, like, I don't know, when people go to eBay and they search out this camera, the listing itself isn't your fancy store. It'll just be a picture of the camera. The only time somebody's going to see your fancy banners and all that is actually when they click on this camera to go into your store. So in terms of the actual outside eBay listing, nobody even knows you're a store until they click on it. So I just don't really, I don't know. I personally don't see the advantage of it, and you're paying $20 a month. I don't know. I would personally just stick to the personal stores. That's what worked for me. That's what the training teaches you, and I follow the training.
Yeah, yeah. I think some people will be changing now. So can they go from being a store down to a basic account?
Yeah, yeah. I tried a store before too, and that's one of the reasons why I don't like it, because I just didn't see any market improvement in my listings. And when I would create a listing using the training, it would go down. It wouldn't be as high in the rankings as I wanted it to be. So I forget how to do it, because this was like way back in the day, but you can definitely downgrade from a store to a personal listing. Look, do what you want to do, okay? But here's the thing. Roger sold $1.8 million on eBay. I don't think anybody on this Hangout did. Roger says don't get an eBay store. So if Roger, the $1.8 million sales guy, tells me not to get an eBay store, I'm not getting an eBay store. That's just the way I look at it.
That's very good. You got to listen to your advisors, haven't you?
Right.
That's how you make the most money with things.
Well, he created up the training for a reason. He told us not to do it for a reason. I trust him, and it's made me a lot of money. So I would say, if Roger says don't get a store, don't get a store.
Yeah. So I've got Richard here saying we'll now cancel my store. Very good. Well, I think that's nailed that on the head. Good info, reference eBay store. What about a business name rather than a personal name? Does that hurt listing? I know that Roger's on about the what was it, Nana's Attic or whatever it was.
Yeah, Grandma's Attic or something. I mean, yeah. That's nothing fancy. I don't think with Amazon it's like a very professional thing. With eBay was sort of born out of auctions, right? So there's an expectation there that people are out there being individual sellers, and it's not supposed to be some sort of professional platform where, you know, you're an actual local furniture shop. Like on Amazon, you get actual real third-party stores selling their stuff there. On eBay, it's not so much. So I've never tested it. Like with me, I use, you know, more of a business-related name. I'm not personally sure whether that's going to make a difference. I don't know. I don't know if I put Sean Agnew versus my store name, if that would actually make a difference or not. So I'm not really sure I have an answer to that one. I mean, I would probably say, you know, put a store name of some sort so that it's not just like Jim, you know.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, brilliant. And yeah, do people really go back to eBay stores? I think people go on there, they go and buy their product, and then they shut it down and they forget all about it. And then when they go again onto eBay, they're not going to go back to that store that this was a really good shop that I bought something from in the past. They just go do another search and come up with somebody else's item, don't they?
Well, yeah, that's my point. I mean, you know, it might be a situation like I like to golf, and the guy here has his golf products. So, you know, if he had a golf store on eBay and I was looking at, you know, maybe I was looking to buy a specific club. I was looking to buy a Hybrid 2 or something, and I went and saw, wow, this guy's got a great Hybrid 2, and look at all these other prices he has, you know, and I like buying a lot of golf stuff, and he sent me my Hybrid 2, and it was nice condition, and it showed up fast, etc. I might go back to that store, you know, in that scenario. But, you know, that's because I'm a golfer and I'm always buying, you know, I'm always buying new golf balls and the new shoes and new clubs and new irons, right? That's just how it goes. I'm a repeat buyer. But for somebody who's going to go buy a camera, okay, the chances of them going back to buy that camera at the same store a couple of years later, they're probably just going to go back to eBay and type in camera. They probably didn't even know you were a store. I mean, you're not, you know, you're not Walmart. You're not Sears. You're not some brand they're going to remember in the back of their head. Especially if you're like Sean's Specialty Camera Shop. They'll forget about that in a week. You know, like who's going to remember that? So I would say that I think you hit the nail on the head. The chances of customers returning to your specific store it's going to be very slim, and it's going to take you a long time to position yourself and brand yourself. You'd have to pick like one niche, stick with it. The golf guy that you talked about earlier would probably have a good chance of somebody returning to the store. But if you're following DSD and just drop shipping random items, I don't think anybody would ever remember your store name, to be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Okay, questions, get them in, because we're getting down here now. So what have we got here? Brilliant from Joy about the recruiting stuff. She says, brilliant, thank you, Sean. Were these free videos or did you promote with ads?
On YouTube?
Yeah.
I never use YouTube promoting. Like, I've gotten pretty good at doing some YouTube SEO stuff. You can learn it pretty good. As you know, I would say don't focus on the SEO side of things right now. Just get the videos up. But I've never purchased video ads. This is all free. 92,000 views, all free, all organic. That's why I love YouTube.
Yeah. Do you pay much attention to eBay specifics?
Oh, I think they know what they mean, like color, size, all that stuff. I've never done that. Roger always tells you don't worry about that stuff, so I haven't done that.
Okay, and that was from Terry. Good to see you on here, Terry. So we've got Rachel Hall here. Glad I didn't get a store. Don't reinvent the wheel. They're loving the store content. Think I'll be hanging a closing down sign on my store tomorrow from Neil. Okay. This comment section, it doesn't refresh very fast, so there we go. So got that one. I disagree because okay, so this is a good comment from Roger Chapman here. He says, I disagree. If you give great customer service, they will add you as a favourite seller.
Maybe. I mean, of course you're able to disagree, but it depends on what you're selling. I mean, look, if I'm selling a dollhouse, a camera, a microphone, like, it doesn't matter if you gave awesome customer service, somebody bought their dollhouse. If all you're selling after that is unrelated items, why would they come back to your store? I don't know. I would say, my personal thoughts are, the only way somebody's returning to your store is if you are in a niche. If you're selling 8,000 dollhouses and that's all you sell, yeah, somebody probably might come back to your store. If you're selling golf equipment only, somebody might come back to your store. If you're selling a mishmash of items, and you don't have a brand, and your name is like Sean Agnew's store, I'm not sure that would lead to repeat customers, but that's just my opinion of it.
Yeah, yeah. And even if they add, I've added people as favourite sellers before, but I know where the favourite sellers list is on eBay, but I'd hardly ever click on them to go and find my favourite stores again. I just type it in and see what comes up. For instance, today I was looking for an item, and I needed I think it was, what was it, 2 or 3 different sizes of this item, and then up came this listing. Brilliant, saved to my watch list. And then I typed in the other size, and it came up with totally different store. Brilliant, got that. And then I went back to the first store to see if it had that same size, because then I could, get 2 in the one package. And so I've just got 3 different shops of these 3 different items. That was my experience just today. So I don't think it really makes that much of a difference for return traffic, to be honest. Richard's already cancelled his shop. So yeah, I can't see any of the other comments. I'll keep tapping 1 second. Okay. So where do you see now? Going forward, you've done all the aspects of DS domination training. Where is your focus right now with what you're doing right now with your business?
Yeah, so my focus right now is building the fulfillment by Amazon side. I'm really focused on the Genesis side of things. We have a couple big time products that I think is going to be very, very lucrative for us coming in the next couple of weeks. So I really want to build that side of the business, and just continuing to grow and support my team and provide them with some of the top-notch training that I can provide them with, and just to continue to grow this thing into 2015 and try to double my income next year. Yeah, DSD is definitely my primary focus next year. And if you guys are in this thing, make sure you take action every day. Make sure you constantly attend the webinars and stay plugged into the system. And if you do that, the sky's the limit with what you can do with this business.
Yeah. So. The tools that we've got in the back office of like the listing integration tool. How much has that improved your system of keeping your dropshipping items under tab?
Right. Well, I can speak to my team's experience with that, and it really saves your time in terms of having to check and see if your item's in stock and see if your price has changed or anything like that. So I like it because I used to actually have somebody that I would pay on Odesk, like a couple bucks an hour, to just go check my listings every day to make sure that they were still in stock. I don't have to pay that guy anymore. So it's a really cool feature, and I've heard they've got some other cool features coming down the pipeline as well. So one of the things I like about the company is they don't get comfortable. They're always trying to stay ahead of the curve, and they're always trying to provide more tools and software and products for us to use to help us succeed in the business. And it definitely helps.
Yeah, I was just reading a comment there. I had, from David Eisenhofer. I had 10 repeat customers on Amazon and only 1 on eBay. And then he says, P.S. The shop has gone on my one account.
Awesome. Yeah, Amazon is a little bit more of a professional sort of platform where you'll get that sort of repeat crowd. It's just a different buyer mindset. There's books out there, I can't remember off the top of my head, that explain the different mindsets that you'll get on eBay and Amazon. So I'm not surprised at that.
Yeah. And Rachel, I've had customers come back, but it has been for the same item, their last purchase from me. Yeah, so go back to the last purchase and then repurchase that item.
Yeah.
Okay. So James said, "What is Genesis other than Phil Collins?"
Yeah, so maybe missed a comment on the section a little bit earlier, but yeah, just the whole idea of sourcing product from China or some of our U.S. suppliers, or I don't know if they put UK suppliers back there, but sourcing your own product, shipping it into Amazon, and having Amazon do all the work on your behalf, more or less.
Yeah, in the UK we can use the app and do it, scanning items in the like discount shops and stuff.
Yeah.
And everyone's got access to that app, and that's in the where is it? In the App Store, Google App Store and the Apple App Store. Download it to your phone, go into a shop, take the barcode, scan it, and then see if it's going to be profitable on Amazon. If it is going to be profitable, you then buy 10, 15, 100 of them from the shop that you're in at that price, put them in a box, send them into Amazon, and then it Amazon care of that for you. The full training for that is $1,500, so it's the top level training in DS Domination. If you're only just starting, which I think you are, James, then it's might be a bit advanced to go straight from Pro right up to Genesis, but then again, who knows? You might love it. But yeah, take it one step at a time, and work through that. So just comments. Okay, I can't see any more comments coming through. I think that's been a real fantastic help to a lot of people. I don't know if you want to close off with any other words of wisdom for people, because I always see you. You know, you're always doing very well. You've always been in the spotlight with DS Domination, with Roger, with Reginald, with Jesse, and you know. It's nice to have such good leadership from ordinary folk, and I think that a lot of people are totally blinded by the hype of the industry, the online world, and now it's come to DS Domination, where it's just normal people making an income and helping each other do the same. So yeah, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, so I would just say, you know, it sounds so cliche, but all you have to do is take action every day. Like, make sure you're in the business every day. Eat, sleep, and breathe the business. Be passionate about the business. This has such strong and awesome potential to take you to the next level, whether you want to do eBay or Amazon or the affiliate side. There's massive income potential here. We've had gurus come, so-called gurus come and join this thing, and they failed. And the reason they failed is because it's not a traditional network marketing company. People actually are making money. They can't put their hypey, flashy car videos and sell that to people. It doesn't work. So if you're willing to come in, follow the training, go to all the webinars, stay plugged in, be active, ask the right questions, put in the time every day, set yourself some short-term goals, medium-term goals, long-term goals. You can be wildly successful in this business. I'm living proof. I'm not some guru. You can go Google me all you want. I'm not out there from like 5 years ago, some guy in the background who made millions. It's not how it works. I had nothing when I started this thing. So if I can do it, anybody out there can do it. It just takes passion, energy, desire, and daily action. And that's the best advice I can give you guys. And thanks for having me out today. I really enjoyed doing this for you and getting through this interview. It was a pretty cool experience, and you know, if you guys ever need anything, just make sure to reach out, and I'll be happy to help.
Lovely job. Is this what it is? It's just a friendly chat, really. Have you got? Oh, you're still there. Okay, so I think we've come to the end of the questions, and I really appreciate your time. And yeah, we'll be in touch, and I'll keep an eye on you definitely online, and look forward to our next session.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Sean.
Bye.